Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk 24/7. Hey, y'all, I know it's been a while, but I decided to come on to give you guys an update on Chris Brown's cases. Just to recap, he was hit with two personal injury cases here in Texas for the concert that he did in Fort Worth, which is Tarrant County, at the Dickies Arena. If you have not watched the videos, please go back and get caught up so you understand what's going on. So, long story short, four individuals, as well as a security guard in a separate lawsuit, filed a personal injury lawsuit against Chris Brown, Yella Beezy, and some other members of Chris Brown's entourage. As of now, I'll get into it. But these personal injury lawsuits were filed by individuals who are being represented by Tony Busby. If y'all don't know who Tony Busby is, he is a national trial lawyer, meaning that he practices in almost all the states. Okay, it doesn't matter. So but in Texas he's real big. I can't say too much about it because I contract with several different PI attorneys, and I definitely love them and want to keep working with them. But Mr. Anthony Busby, Tony Busby, is a national trial lawyer, and personal injury is his forte. So, it's going to be a very interesting lawsuit for both of these cases. I definitely want to see how it plays out, but let's hop right on into it. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. If not, I'll go ahead and just kind of swap. So this is the July 22nd, 2024. This is Larry Parker and the other three individuals who filed a lawsuit against him. In this particular case, kind of go over where they are. Let's see. So, as of right now, it appears that Live Nation has responded. Chris Brown has responded, but I don't see anything from Yellow Beezy, meaning that, oh, there we go. I had to share that tab, meaning that he has not possibly been served. The only thing that I can see is that back when they filed the petition back on 7/22, they also submitted the request for issuance of service. And let's see. Yeah, and it says citation Christopher Maurice May Brown is May Brown. Wow. I thought it was just Maurice Brown. Interesting. Anywho's, so service have been perfected on Chris Brown on September 5th, and actually Live Nation was served as well, and they filed their answer on the 26th of July. So that takes care of that. Time and time again, you guys know anytime you get served, you have so many days to respond. So they did respond. As far as Chris Brown, he just went ahead and got an attorney. And one thing that I do want to show you guys that they filed. He ended up filing, and he did this in both cases, a motion to transfer venues, because initially this case, as well as the other case, was filed in in Harris County, which is Houston, that area. If you're not familiar with Texas, it's pretty large. The incident happened in Tarrant County. The plaintiffs live in Denton County. But my first initial thought was, when they filed this case, why did y'all file it in Harris County and not Tarrant County, where you actually have, witnesses, and that's pretty much where the incident took place. Normally, when I file or draft my petitions for the attorneys, I you are supposed to file in the county where the defendant lives, or where the incident took place. Now, for me, what I would have done, I know that Chris Brown lives here. Well, when I say here, meaning he lives in what, LA, Los Angeles County. Yella Beezy lives here, which I believe, I don't think he's in Dallas County. I can't remember which county he's in. And then you have Live Nation in Harris County. So, with that being said, you have multiple defendants. I'm actually going to file in the jurisdiction in which the incident took place, especially if you have a whole bunch of witnesses. So, I'm pretty sure when Chris Brown obtained his attorney, that is what they took into consideration. So, he ended up filing a motion to transfer venue from Harris County to Tarrant County, which makes more sense. So all they did this on the 30th of September. So they have to go ahead and have this motion heard. And it is going to be up to the judge to look at everything, hear the arguments of both counsels, and say, okay, this is going to be in the best interest of all parties to either stay in Harris County or transfer over to Tarrant County. So that's where we're at with the first case. Uh oh, and I just ended up stop sharing my screen. I'm sorry. All right, so with this one, this is going to be the second case. This is the security officer, and I'm gonna share this tab. This is going to be the security officer. And once again, if you don't know the story with him, go back and watch the videos. So in this case, um, Live Nation has already been served. Yella Beezy was served on the 29th, which means that he should have responded to the lawsuit. In Texas, you have 20 days. Well, actually, the Monday after the 20th day of expiration. So as you can see, between the 7/29 entry date and this August 30th, he has not responded. Now, Live Nation filed their answer. Chris Brown service was perfected on September 5th for Chris Brown. Now, what's interesting is that because Yellow Beezy did not respond to the lawsuit, plaintiffs went ahead and filed for a motion for a default judgment against Yellow Beezy. And you can do that if the defendant failed to respond to the lawsuit. And I am just gonna share this tab so you guys can see. So what are they are so pretty much it's just kind of going over the history, blase, blase, blase. The arguments and authorities is pretty much their reasoning of why they can go ahead and file for a default judgment. And just in summary, it's just stating that the defendant has failed to answer and a return of service is filed, meaning that the process server served them, the return of service was filed with the court. This is to ensure that they indeed did their due diligence to notify Yellow Beezy of the lawsuit. But now they are going to file, well, they have filed a no answer default judgment. And this is what you do not want to do. You do not want to get a default judgment. So now they have to require for them to prove their claim of unliquidated damages. Who child? So if we go, this is what they are. These are the damages. Blow that up for y'all. So loss of earnings and earning capacity, past and future lost earnings. So pretty much if they had a job or have a job, they're claiming for lost wages. Okay. And then future wages if they are unable to work due to the injuries that they sustained in the injury in the incident. Medical expenses. So any, doctors, therapists, whoever they have seen due to the incident, that has to be proved up. So they want to be paid for any medical treatment that they sought for these injuries sustained in the incident. They are also claiming future medical expenses. So if what we call in the PI land is maximum um, medical improvement. Yeah, I think that's his MMI. So, anywho's, if the doctor feels that they have not reached their pre-injury, um, what's the word I'm trying to look for? Their condition or how they were prior to the incident, and their injuries that was sustained is going to hinder them in the future, that means that they may have to seek, additional medical treatment, then they can actually get future medical expenses. And that's up for a doctor to actually say, okay, this individual may have to seek chiropractic treatment in the near future, and they put a number on it. Okay, they put a number on it. 9 times out of 10, I have never seen anybody get future medical expenses, even though we put that in there. But hey, I think if you the how can I say this? The injuries have to be pretty severe for them to be like, oh, okay, yes, they are going to need medical attention or seek medical treatment in the future. So let's throw them a couple of, additional $1,000. Whatever so if the doctor says future medical expenses might be $10,000, they may be nice and say, okay, we're going to grant $2, $3,000, blase, blase, blase. That's how that works. Pain, suffering, and mental anguish. All right, emotional pain, uh, torment, suffering. Um, Sometimes for pain and suffering, you're not going to get a lot, but hey, this is where you have to prove. And I always tell clients, if you are suffering mentally, we need to see that in the doctor's notes, in the visits notes, in the records. Okay, that's why, and as a personal injury paralegal, w- as a PI firm, you really can't just be like, okay, we recommend for you to go here or go there, because we really can't do that. Um, we just say, hey, if you feel that you are suffering mentally, we suggest that go seek a psychiatrist. And sometimes they may do that. The psychiatrist or therapist or whoever will call and say, hey, we have this patient here. They advised that they was involved in a, either a motor vehicle accident or some type of accident that caused, some type of mental, do you represent them, blase, blase, blase. Okay, but you have to prove this. Okay, even though you saying, okay, these are my damages, I want to be paid for this, you still have to prove this. And then loss of household services, meaning that on a daily basis you were doing household chores, cleaning up, cooking, washing watching your kids, doing laundry, just some of those daily activities that you once have done, you can no longer do due to the injuries that you sustained. So they are claiming all of these damages. And so, because he did not answer and they filed this, once again, it's not saying that they are going to get this, but they have to submit documentation showing, and when I say documentation, bills, or medical records showing, or even employment records. All right, you're talking about lost earnings. So you got to show records showing that you can no longer work or you was out of work, or records showing that you are suffering each night, you can't sleep, or you have anxiety or depression or whatever the case may be, or I can no longer watch my kids or care for my kids, or do laundry, whatever the case may be, you still have to prove this. And so that's why it is a motion for default judgment, which has to be heard in court, which they have to also prove their all of these things through medical records and medical bills. So they have to submit affidavits. It is a process, but if they can't do this, they have to be able to prove up these damages. If they can't do this, I don't know what's going to happen. Okay. So that is with Mr. uh Yellow Beezy. So as of right now, unfortunately, he is unable to now can he respond now? He can, but I think it's a little bit too late. Just a tad bit too late. All right. Now going to that, so they have to schedule a hearing. I don't see a hearing that's requested. They filed the motion for default judgment on September 12th and it's October 2nd. So I'm not sure what's going on there. But then we have Chris Brown. He files his answer along with a motion to transfer venue. He wants to transfer it from Harris County to Tarrant County. So I am thinking they might schedule a hearing and the judge might say, okay, I'm going to hear both the motion for the default against Yellow Beezy as well as Chris Brown's motion to transfer venue. And so that's pretty much it. There's nothing really much going on other than this motion and trying to get the remainder of the defendants served so they can respond. So I am going to stay on this case and see if the judge does in fact grant Chris Brown's motion to transfer the venue. If so, that will be great. Like I said, the incident took place in Tarrant County or at Fort Worth. There's a lot of witnesses in Fort Worth, so it would just make more sense to try this in Fort Worth or Tarrant County versus, Harris County in the Houston area. Make sense? I hope it does. So you guys tell me what you think about that. Like I said in the beginning, these plaintiffs are being represented by Mr. Anthony, aka Tony Busby. He's a national trial personal injury lawyer. He is the same one that is representing the 100 plus victims that were, you know, a-worded by Sean Puffy Combs. So we're going to get into that later on tonight. This is about to be juicy. But tell me what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, be blessed, and I am out.